Hello, I have a very random thrown together vlog for this Sunday, but I hope you enjoy the randomness of it. And my normal polished videos will return on Thursday. There was a lot of bee drama this week. The bees have kept me on my toes. What you are looking at is myself doing a hive inspection, and it was great that I actually was filming because I was able to show this footage to my bee pals down at the other apiary where I help out because I'm after running into a problem with my hive. When I was doing the bee inspection, I noticed that there was no fresh eggs or fresh larvae. There was no larvae or no eggs. So that means the queen had stopped laying possibly a week ago. There was some capped worker brood, some drone brood, but there was no new eggs, and the cells where there was eggs, the bees have started to put honey in it. The bees had a super box, so they did have space above them to store honey, but they've started to put honey into the cells where there should be brood. They also have other extra frames in this box that they can draw out on. But straight away, I was like, oh no, something is not right. Now, as I'm looking at the footage, I can spot a queen cell at the bottom of the frame. So a couple of things could have happened. My queen could have gone off on me. So the original queen for this hive, she could have tried to swarm. I believe she may have been clipped. So if she did try and do that, the bees that followed her would have returned to the hive, which explains why I have a good amount of numbers still of bees on the frames. So what I need to do now is I need to get a test frame of brood that has eggs on it from my mentors, bring it back to my hive, stick it in, and if the bees draw out a queen cell, then that can mean there is no queen in this hive and they will make a new one. Or what could have happened, I could have missed a queen cell, a new virgin queen may have emerged, and I could have a new virgin queen that has to mate, come back, and then hopefully she starts laying. But I can't just leave them because a hive that doesn't have a queen will eventually in a couple of weeks deteriorate and decline and be gone. So for this hive, I need to do a test, and they are testing me. While it's not nice to have things like this happen, at the end of the day, this is how you learn. So while it was disheartening, I'm like proactive. I know something's not right. I went and got advice. People are so helpful, and we're going to rectify this. Also this weekend, I actually caught a local swarm. I put together this small Instagram reel video, which I'll share here, which shows the 30-second gist of me catching a swarm, and then I'll chat a bit more about that swarm at the end of the video. Today I caught my very first swarm of bees. Thankfully, they were in my local area, so I was able to get there quick enough. I have never done this before, so thankfully a more experienced beekeeper came to help me. We scooped all of the bees into the box, trying to get the queen in there. Once all the bees were inside, we closed up the box, left the entrance open, and allowed the rest of the bees to go inside. The bees started fanning their buns in the air, which I think is a good sign. I went home and had a cup of tea, and then I came back to collect them to bring them to their new home. You join me at the kitchen table while I try to pack my backpack because I'm heading to go see Monty Don. But every trip is a guilt trip because these two little nuggets have been in my case or my backpack. So we're flying for just one night because I can't be away for too long just with my mum being sick. So I got this backpack last year for holidays, and you can fit, I'd say, enough for overnight. That's just like toiletries, a bit of makeup. Yes, Biog, stop that. Dress for tomorrow, a little present for Nadine, and pajamas. And then I have my outfit on for today, my little handbag, and that's it. Yeah, I have my Rescue Remedy retainer and then liquid bag. So here is my outfit. In the background, there's also a water bottle from my Volkswagen Beetle because there's a crack in it, and I bought a new one from eBay just in case anyone thinks that's like a milk carton. No. Good old Volkswagen Beetle, you can get all the parts off eBay. Now, I bought this floral jacket. I look like I'm making my confirmation. I just realised there's a little pocket as well. just because in summer I never have jackets. Because we're flying over to London, it probably will be cooler tonight. Thankfully, as you can probably, I don't know if you can see, there is sunshine. No, it's sunny outside. So I'm wearing this maxi dress. It's petite. I think I got it on Next. And I just thought it was nice and elegant, very Lady Bridgerton. Has some, I'll have to excuse my Crocs. It has some lace detail at the bottom. I just love the fit of it. I just think for my body shape, it's just flattering. Like, I'm not having to hold anything in. I do have my anti-chafe shorts though. You gotta keep it real, girls. My ladies with thighs who rub, you know. It does have a little sleeve, and my jacket is reversible. So tomorrow I just have a plain dress to wear home tomorrow. But I can turn my jacket inside out and I have a new jacket, a little red stripe one. So I love my floral coat. I think it's very Monty Don, Kew Gardens. We're going to a garden festival. I don't know if it makes it, I don't know. I like the crop on it as well because I'm short. So cropped jackets don't make me look as like swamped. So there's a full length. I have to fly in this dress and try and keep it clean for like, it's thankfully we're not on an early flight. It is 10 to 9 and I have to, myself and Karen are flying over. We're meeting Nadine. So I think Monty Don is on at 7 maybe. I think we're going to Kew Gardens for 5:30. So we can get like, I'd have a look at them. I've never been to Kew Gardens, and I know you definitely need more than a few hours there. So yeah, that's all my chats for you. Will I keep this dress clean? Probably not. Once it's clean for seeing Monty Don. When I say we're going to see Monty Don, we don't have like an audience with the Pope type thing. Like, we don't have a one-on-one with him. Nadine got tickets to go see, it's like a festival in Kew Gardens. I think it's kind of like an evening with, and just from looking at pictures of it last year, it was very picnicky, sit on the grass, and he's doing a talk. I don't know if he did Kew Gardens last year, but I know that they had a festival last year. So that's what we're going to. So we're flying into Heathrow. Aer Lingus already cancelled their flight because they're on strike. There was a bit of strike action. We were to fly over a bit earlier and they cancelled that flight, but it was fine. We just booked on to the next one and all is well, because we're flying into Heathrow and Ryanair don't fly in there, and I don't have the head for getting 10 million trains with flying with Ryanair. So it's all worked out. Will I get to see Monty Don in person? I will see him on the stage. Will I get to meet him? I know it's been an ongoing thing. I creep on him when I see him at Chelsea. I'm like, ooh, take a picture. I've never had the balls to say, hey. See, it's different at Chelsea because he's working at Chelsea, so he's filming. So you feel like a bit of a twat being like, oh, by the way, can I get a picture? No, like, you just feel like, don't do that. So, but tonight is like his event. So maybe I'll meet him. Who knows? You'll find out if I do or not. Now, I must apologise for not having a lot of footage, but I do know Karen, Lovely Girly Bits is her YouTube. She did get more behind the scenes and footage of this trip. Dublin was so sunny and we landed, sadly, in rainy London, which sometimes the weather can be similar, but no, it was raining. We were joking saying that this was our version of Glastonbury. This was our Gardenbury moment. The weather was quite poor. We were not prepared. Everyone brought seats and picnics and raincoats, and I was in my little dress. So we got ponchos and bags to sit on to enjoy Monty Don in the rain.
Hello. Look at you all. Good evening.
It's always good to get a sense. Happy birthday, exactly.
Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you. I hope I look as embarrassed as I feel. What an incredible cake.
There was no meet and greets this time at Monty Don, but myself and Karen are going to see him in, I think, October in Dublin. So who knows? Maybe then. Hello, hello, hello. We are in the Irish summer. I think this is the global warming summers. that we're gonna get, not the extra hot ones. It's either a feast or a famine. I've just popped down to check in on the swarm. That was Sunday evening. I caught it. A swarm is not loyal to the box. They could have absconded. And I've just had a quick look. It's absolutely lashing, so bees are not going to be out. It's actually cold as well. It is, like, temperature wise, it's only about 13 degrees. That's very cold for the bees. Ideally like 15 degrees. Like, I wouldn't open a hive in this weather. You would risk killing the brood and they're going to be angry. The good news is I have just arrived and the bees in the swarm box that I put them in, so they're in a nook. There is a couple of bees like at the entrance, so there's bees inside. I did knock on it to see if I could hear the sound, and I could hear some buzzing, not as strong as what it was the other day, so I don't know if they're all still in there. However, there are bees at the entrance. So on Monday, when the swarm was here for the first full day, the weather was beautiful, blue sky all day, and yesterday the weather was awful, and today it's also still awful. So the risk is they can't forage in this weather to bring in food. I imagine the swarm is going to be very hungry, but I am after leaving some sugar syrup in a feeder. I don't have a feeder to sit on top of the nook box. I need to get one, but I put some in, like, it's like a water drinker, but I filled it with the syrup, so at least they can fly out to the entrance, get that syrup and bring it in if they need it. Now, my other hive is not very active at all. Let me show you. So this is my first hive. They do have a feeder on them. So this is the one where I have to put a test frame of eggs into. But because the weather has been so bad, you can't open up hives in this weather. So a test frame of eggs needs to go into this because something is not right in here. So we have to rectify that. But there's no bees at the entrance. I did see one or two flying in, but as you can see, like, it is raining like pretty heavy and it's cold, so they're not going to come out in this weather. Now, I did look down. There is bees in the entrance. So there is bees at the entrance. So there is some still in there, but not very active. Here's one here to say hello. But yeah, I'm hoping this rain eases off. So over here, this is the nuke box. There is bees at the entrance. So you can see there's some bees in here at the door. There's one or two dead bees at the front. So I don't know, they could, like, the bees will remove dead bees from the hive. So that could be what had happened, or it could be ones that, what happens is when they get wet, they get cold, and when they get cold, they can't physically fly, so they just die. So that's kind of what happens. They get too cold and their body temperature drops and they get immobilized, and that can happen. But there is bees at the entrance there, so I am actually quite happy with that. At least they're still in here. They look like some of them are going out to forage. Nobody will be coming back with forage if it keeps raining today. So this is the feeder here. So this has some syrup in it. So they should be able to at least get a bit of food while the weather is bad. Another risk is if there is a virgin queen in here, she will need to do her mating flight. But with the weather being bad, she's not going to come out in this weather to mate. And yeah, but listen, I'm hoping the rest of the week might not be too bad. We had a rain warning for the past 2 days. Even if it was to be dry this afternoon, it would give them a bit more like time to get out and forage. I have my camera under a bush, but it's still getting wet. So what happens now with the swarm? I'm not going to interfere with them for about a week. And if I see lots of activity, then I know, okay, they have settled. So in about a week, I'll actually ask the guys where I help out. They're giving me a test frame to test the other hive. when I should check them. But when I check them next, I'm going to be looking for eggs, because if there's brood, then that queen has successfully mated and the bees she's laying, and it's going to be hopefully a thriving hive, and I can let them put, draw out comb on the frames that I have in the box, and then hopefully they will turn into a healthy nuke. They'll fill out the 5 frames, and then I can hive them on so they can go into their own hive once they show that they're strong enough and that they're thriving. So I could potentially have a second hive sometime soon, but I have to just wait and see. Bees they're wild animals after all. They might not like the lovely box I've given them. Something might just set them off and they could fly off again. The queen is in the box because the bees wouldn't hang around if the queen wasn't. Although you might get a couple of stragglers, but I can't do anything today. All I can do is just give them back a bit of syrup and just wait and see. I've noticed there's a lot of that with the bees. If like your queen needs to go off and be mated, you have to wait like a couple of weeks to check in on her to see if she's mated. So there's a lot of just waiting and seeing. I definitely won't be getting any honey this year, but I don't mind that. If I can just get them thriving, get them colonies good numbers, then I'll be happy with that. If you would like more proper gardening videos, not like this random vlog this week, check out the Cottage Garden playlist, and I'll see you in Thursday's video.